Now.
Welcome to another episode of Hustle Sauce. I am Michael Sharkey, founder of Your Podcast Coach, as always joined by the brilliant, the intelligent, the smart, the content driver himself, Ryan Hartman, co-founder of Thanks.io. Ryan, I know today we're going to dive into some YouTube stuff, but here we are, episode 5. You want to give everybody a good reset on, where we've been, where we are today, and where we're going?
Yep. And I'll first start by saying hustlesauce.info/episode 5 is where you can find the show notes of this. And yeah, Michael, where we're at is we've kind of jumped right into this thing. And we've been setting up the last few episodes, our Libsyn podcast. Michael, you did an additional video you can find on the YouTube channel as a second part to episode 3. We talked a few days ago just about how we are working this in among our other projects, just to give you an idea of sort of a mindset that you can take toward this stuff. And yeah, we've been adding these episodes to our YouTube channel, Hustle Sauce. And as I was looking this morning and uploading some more stuff, I said, hey, this channel probably could use a little more customization now. And I think, as we've talked about already, a lot of people would start here with, what's my logo on my channel? I need the banner image, and get all obsessed with this stuff. And we're kind of doing it backwards. We're going to kind of go back and aim in on this. And you're doing a similar thing on the podcast side, correct?
Yeah. And I know we've said it a few times, and it's such a part of the entrepreneur vernacular, but this is truly a ready, fire, aim approach. Like literally we got ready, we fired off a bunch of content, and now we're aiming where we're going. Here we are, episode 5. And just yesterday, I kind of put the trailer up on Spotify. Apple is, going to take a week or so to get that. And that'll be one of the next training videos on. Very simple. It takes about 60 seconds to get your podcast on Apple Podcasts, but it's a necessary step. But I think that goes back to what we've been saying all along. Like, don't wait, just start, start creating that content, start getting that flow. So yeah, so you're closer to YouTube than I am. I'm closer to the podcast platforms than you are. So, I'm kind of excited to see you dive into the creation of this today.
Yep. So if you're watching on YouTube live on the screen, we have 6 videos posted already. 4 of them were main episodes, 2 are supplemental. You can see here just from 1 or 2 I think I did 1 Facebook share, honestly. We're getting some views, but this is where you start. Just very, very little. We're not expecting any organic to happen. But in order to get attention on YouTube and get people to click through, there are some things you need to do. One of them, first and foremost, that I think we need to do next is we need to get rid of the default YouTube H right here for Hustle Sauce. So I'm just going to go, just so you know, you can go into YouTube, you can get to the branding, the customization section over here on the left side, and I'm going to upload the Hustle Sauce logo, the jar of sauce. So I had the sauce jar here waiting for me. Might have to fix this a little bit later, but this will be good enough now. You can see here, the circle is going to cut it off, but looks good to me, right?
Looks pretty good. Yeah, I like it.
And then the next thing that we're going to want for our main channel, and what's interesting is I publish this, is a lot of times you can use your main channel page as the sort of URL for your venture. And I've seen a lot of people do this before. So this banner image that goes across the top of the channel can become very important. So it's 2048 by 1152 pixels. I need to get that created and uploaded. And do we want to go down this rabbit hole right now, Michael? Maybe we can. I might jump into Canva.
Oh, about just building that thing? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Okay, so for this, you've seen me use Google Draw. I would probably lean toward using something that'll make it look a little smoother. And I'm pretty sure that Canva will give us a template. Excuse me while I log in here. Canva will give us a template for a YouTube banner. Let's verify that. I didn't do my homework beforehand. So let's just do custom dimensions up on the right side, and we'll use YouTube's custom 2048 by 1152. And if this is boring for you guys, or you already have a YouTube Canva image, if you're watching on podcast, if you're listening to the podcast, feel free to fast forward. Bottom line is, I've started by creating an image, the pixel size that I need here in in Canva. And then what I'll do just to kind of get something out the door is I'll upload my Hustle Sauce jar that I've been working with. So I'm gonna click upload media, grab that same jar. And then just for the sake of moving this along and getting it done, you should have a little fun with this. Subscribe to this channel like that. So what I'm doing is you get an image up, do a little text. Again, you perfectionists out there are probably shaking your head going, this would never work.
Right.
You know, but what I'll do, what we'll eventually do, again, we'll just go back. If this thing takes off, as it probably will if we stay consistent, we'll go back and make this a lot prettier. You might like it. Then I'll go grab it. Or, go ahead. Yep.
So quick question. You know, you're using Canva. Do you have the free version or the paid version?
I think I actually do have the free right now. You know, Canva's integrated with Thanks.io, so I do use it a fair amount to build those postcards. But yeah, I'm getting this done on the free. Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
You know, I think that's the other thing is that a lot of these services out there have the free, have the premium. And a lot of people think, oh, you know, and granted, there are services out there where the premium does make a huge difference. But I feel like Canva is one of those things especially for things like this, you know, the free will do what you need it to do. And not just building this banner, but all the different ways you can use Canva for your socials and stuff like that.
Yep. So I just downloaded this, hopefully it's the right size. Viewable on TV. What is this? Viewable on all devices. See, I thought that size was weird. So they want you to kind of customize it. This is different than what I've done in the past. So we're hitting a snag, but this is fixable. And I think what I have to do for people, Michael, is I'm going to have to go and do this. See how it says viewable on all devices, viewable on desktop like this,
right?
Viewable on TV. I'm going to have to go and do a supplemental video that shows this being done exactly. But for now, let's just get this banner image up. And I'm not going to let this slow us down. Again, we only have a half hour together today, but just know that you can build the image in Canva as you just saw me do. Get it done quick. This watermark I'm not going to worry about, and I'm going to hit publish right here. The other thing that I'd like to pay attention to on the channel is the thumbnails. Which is another thing that I think you've probably seen a lot of YouTubers obsess over. They have these crazy thumbnails, right?
Right.
I was thinking that the approach that we could take here is that we'll take the actual doc that goes with each episode, and we'll make that the thumbnail.
Okay.
So it'll give the bullet points right here. So it'll just kind of give a sneak peek into the content. Perhaps on this doc, I may put the jar of sauce to make it a little more visually interesting. Moving forward, we'll have on each of these docs that you can access by going to hustlesauce.info/episode 4, episode 5. I'll have that on the right side. But for now, what I'd like to do is just take this, go to episode 4, screen capture this. I think we've talked about Lightshot Screenshot for screen capturing. Not sure.
No, I don't think we have.
Yeah, it's like my favorite tool. You know, you could use any screen capture tool, but I can hit print screen really quick and just bring up a window like this, start drawing on it and everything. So it's Lightshot Screenshot, totally free. You can just Google that, Lightshot Screenshot.
So it's actually called Lightshot Screenshot?
Yeah, that's the name of the app. Okay. And I know that Windows and Macs have built-in stuff that does screenshots, but I just really love how easy this solution makes it to do the kinds of things you see me doing right now.
Oh, that looks great. Yeah, I just use the embedded, Mac, I think it's Command-Shift-4 is how to do the screenshots. And it's doable, but it doesn't give you the options that does. That's great.
Yeah, and you can see how I'm dragging, one of the keyest things here, I'm dragging the dimensions of the screenshot.
Yes.
So if you want to, like, I know that YouTube, there's certain dimensions that will make your screenshot fit the screen perfectly. So 640 by 360, for example, will get you really, I think fits exactly, if I'm remembering right. So you can kind of do that, play around with it, get it going, drag it around, and then I'll save it at 4 thumb. And then I'll put it on that actual episode here. So let's go into the episode. You notice here, I'm also getting to a convention where every episode, see how it says parentheses, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. So I was doing that this morning just to kind of make it look consistent. I get to the edit screen for the video and I'll upload the thumbnail right here. Time to clean out the computer. So just like that. So I think this will look cool. It looks a little dirty, but the hustle sauce in red, it gives you a peek of what you're going to get inside the video because we're doing this with bullet points. I don't know. Seems to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea. The thing that I've always, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you that this is a best practice. But what I've always tried to do with my thumbnails is that whatever YouTube gives me, so like on the screen right now, you just uploaded that thumbnail, but then the 3 to the right of that are the pre-selected YouTube thumbnails. So if I'm just doing a video of me, as opposed to a screen capture, I always just look for the images where I look the most ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like if they catch me and I've got like my finger near my nose, or if I look like I just like jumped out of bed, I always go with those, which for a lot of people are like, oh my God, I couldn't have that be my thumbnail. But quite honestly, you can have the most professional, and I know this from seeing a couple of videos of guys that are, 8-figure businesses. And their YouTube videos, like they make sure it's the most outlandish, non-posed, in the middle of a sentence, looks like they're pooping kind of thumbnail.
Yeah.
And it just catches your eye.
It's a really good point. So I just searched how to upload a podcast because you just gave me a video about how to do that. I uploaded it this morning. And I was curious, and you can see all the thumbnails that people are using. So these really pop. And at this point, I wonder, and I've done something similar to what you saw me do just now, where I screen capture what's inside in a lot of cases, because I always have docs for the webinars I do. And what's interesting is we scroll through here, you notice how the one I just uploaded looks a little different right there. So I don't know if there's anything to that, but it's already indexed. It's showing up in searches on YouTube. And there you are in the bottom corner. So yeah, definitely thumbnails are something to think about. You're going to want to grab attention. Probably what these people are doing, I would say is working. If they're indexing up top, he's got 56,000 views. So I'm not going to say what he's doing is wrong. But the thing to be mindful of is just doing something a little different, like you're saying, a little out of the norm. And I'm hopeful that just showing the bullet points of what's in the episode right here will be a good format. The other thing, you want to tease what's inside. So I think this has that effect,
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah, it does. And the one thing I'll say, I mean, again, I don't think anybody on the page that you just said was doing anything wrong. It is kind of interesting though. They're all very similar.
Yeah.
So like it's a really good task at that point to say, okay, well, what can I do visually? And again, we're talking about a visual medium here with YouTube. What can I do visually with my thumbnail that might separate me from all of these other people?
Yeah. Do you see how I'm hovering and it's previewing the video?
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of a new thing, isn't it?
It may or may not be. I mean, I feel like I've seen that for a while, but
yeah, it's another thing to consider, and something that I might put a little attention to is that, what happens then in this preview? Is this the first beginning of the video? And what can we do if somebody does hover, what can we do to get them to come in? So,
right.
Just an interesting thought. So this is the stuff you always want to be thinking about, because, as you build your side hustle, your online, your digital based business, it's all about attention, and there's so much competition for it. So
yes,
I personally take the ugly route as a way to do it and get some negative feedback and some positive about it. But you gotta develop what your own kind of special sauce is when it comes to getting that attention, I guess.
Right. And for all my years in media, we would always say there's no such thing as bad press. And for doing your own content channels like this, there's just no such thing as bad feedback. So if you're getting somebody going, hey, yours is ugly or whatever, that's not a bad thing because they're paying attention to it. Where that could get a little wonky is if you start getting really bad reviews in like Apple Podcasts and things like that. But generally, people are only going to give bad reviews if you're horrifically offending them.
Right.
And we're not offending them. We're just trying to capture their eyes or ears, as it would be.
Yep. So as you build out your thing, hopefully at this point you've uploaded something to YouTube or to your podcast. If you haven't, you need some inspiration, feel free to reach out to Michael and I, info@hustlesauce.com. Just be like, yo guys, I'm stuck. What should I do? But try to get some stuff live so that, and then go back and do some of the things you see us doing, optimize that YouTube channel with some images and, think about your thumbnails. And then looking ahead, Michael, I think in the next few episodes, we're gonna start to get some exposure here and actually get this thing out into the world.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of, because you are truly an expert as it relates to exposure and getting people out there. So, like I'm going to be taking notes in those episodes. So
yeah. Yep. So stay tuned. So probably the next episode, hopefully, we're going to start to talk a little bit about preparing to drive traffic. And one of the first things we're going to need to do there probably is set up some kind of lead magnet that the traffic can engage with, start building our email list, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.